At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Mary Beth Dunlap of Sky Park Farm Dressage. Mary Beth is an ARIA certified instructor, and she'll be narrating for us today in our next segment called Dressage is for Every Horse. Mary Beth?
Thank you, Ben. Yes, dressage is for every horse. And thank you, everybody, for coming out today to see this group of riders. Dressage is the foundation of any style of performance. Today's horses perform in many diverse activities, but no matter what type of task a horse is asked to perform, the qualities it has learned or has not learned in its basic training will affect whether it is enjoyable and rewarding to ride. A horse with qualities such as obedience, balance, and sensitivity to light aids will do its job well, whether destined for the Grand Prix dressage test at the Olympics, or life as a jumper, pleasure horse, show horse, or even your trail horse. Riders sometimes try to produce these qualities with forces or devices, but the results look artificial and reduces the horse's athletic ability. Dressage training methods develop the horse without forces or devices, utilizing what we know of the nature and the structure of the horse. Dressage is a word derived from the French term meaning training. It is the oldest discipline of riding. The basic tenets of classical horsemanship were first recorded in a book by Greek general Xenophon around 400 BC. It was further developed at the royal courts in Europe in the 17th and 18th centuries. The Spanish riding school in Vienna, Austria, with its white Lipizan stallions, is perhaps the most familiar institution dedicated exclusively to the classical art of training and riding. In 2007, there was talk among top Western traders regarding the many horses they'd trained. They talked about the successes and the failures of the different techniques that they had used, as well as the conversations they had with both trainers and horse owners. And they realized that there were some core concerns shared by everyone involved in today's horse industry. In 2010, the Western Dressage Association of America was born. Following the training methods used in classical dressage, Western dressage is training the horse to its individual maximum potential in a Western saddle. The tests that are performed before a judge are relatively the same in both disciplines. Just the terminology is specific to the discipline, such as canter versus lope, jog versus trot. Dressage is not magic. Through learning how, when, and why to apply specific training exercises, you can make dressage work for you. The aim of dressage is to develop a high level of sensitivity and athletic development for the horse and for the rider. Today we have several riders who will be demonstrating dressage movements in the lower levels of dressage in both the English and the Western styles. Let me introduce them now to you. Showing introductory or intro level is Mackenzie Manning. Mackenzie, you want to raise your arm up there real high? There you go. Mackenzie is 14 years old and she's riding Sky, who is a 4-year-old Mustang quarter horse cross pony mare. And we also have Michelle O'Day Manning. You want to raise your hand? There you are. She is riding Penelope, a 5-year-old Hackney cross pony mare. The purpose of intro level is to provide an introduction to dressage. The horse performs at the gaits of walk and jog or trot. Relaxation and harmony between the horse and rider are important. Showing at training level or basic, the Western term, we have Ivy Reed. Ivy, you want to raise your hand? Ivy is 10 years old. She's riding Malachi, who's an 8-year-old Arab cross pony gelding. And Molly Allen. Molly is riding El Cid, who's a 13-year-old Andalusian cross gelding. The purpose of training or basic level is to confirm that the horse is supple and moves forward freely in a clear and steady rhythm and accepts light contact. Greater emphasis is placed on relaxation, submission, harmony, and rideability. Canter and lope are included in these tests. Then we have our third category, our third test, and showing at first level or level 1 is Gina DeSantis, and she's riding Gunner, who's a 6-year-old Norwegian Fjord gelding. Maggie Davis, who's riding Moss Rose Regalia, a 16-year-old Morgan mare, and Stephanie Dobus, who is riding Carmen Parada, a 19-year-old Arabian mare. And the purpose of first level, or level 1, is to confirm correct basics learned from the prior levels and show that the horse has developed impulsion and improved balance and has a more consistent contact with the bit. More engagement of the hindquarters and lateral balance are introduced. Turn on the forehand, turn on the haunches, leg yield, lengthenings, and counter-canter lope are included in these tests. Most riders will work movements within 2 consecutive levels. Our first level riders will also demonstrate shoulder in and haunches in that are introduced in second level or level 2. Most all horses can learn and benefit from dressage training through second level. The levels were developed to aid and test the training of the horse. It's a progression of training. Like with any athlete, it takes time to develop muscles and balance and self-carriage. The different dressage levels in both English and Western style are the steps to advance the horse's training and ability. Competitions are the way to confirm your successfulness of training. When competing, competitors are competing against a standard. Dressage is basic training with a gradual, logical system of strengthening and suppling exercises. Dressage may seem to belong only in the white-fenced arenas at dressage competitions. Yet, the aim for dressage is to develop the ability, suppleness, and obedience of the horse, qualities desired in any horse, no matter what its eventual use will be. The dressage training scale developed in Germany shows a pyramid divided in 6 sections. Everybody starts their training from the bottom and works in a progressive manner to get to the top section. However, there is a degree of every element at every stage. The first section is developing rhythm and regularity. The second is relaxation. Then contact or connection with the bit is introduced. Then impulsion or pushing power from behind. The next is straightness. And finally, collection or self-carriage. That's the pinnacle. As you watch the riders today, see if you can see the difference of the first 3: rhythm, relaxation, and contact for the higher levels. Increased impulsion and straightness. So we have a small-sized dressage arena set up here, a 20 meter by 40 meter, with letters in which to execute the movements at specific places and help determine the correct dimensions of the figures. One advance to first level and above, a larger sized dressage arena, which is 20 meters by 60 meters, is used. And then there are 4 additional letters that make up that ring, or that arena. So Mackenzie and Michelle, are you guys ready? All right, we're going to start with you. So Mackenzie and Michelle are going to demonstrate the movements and the things that are required at intro level. So show us a jog or trot, halt through the walk, a 20-meter circle in the ring, and a free walk. So she's demonstrating a halt through the walk, demonstrating her jog, and now a 20-meter circle in the ring. Riding accurate arena patterns is very important to the gymnastic training of the horse. So it's very important for these riders to know what a 20-meter circle feels like. It's how we keep the horse balanced between the A's. So now show me a free walk. So the horse is reaching forwards and downwards. The nose is out in front of the vertical. Notice the light contact or long rein that she's using. And you want to see the horse move with long, free strides in a clear 4-beat, pure rhythm. So there are 4 beats in the walk, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want to see that clear rhythm, clear tempo is being performed. So show us one more across the diagonal. Go up towards K, I believe that is. Good energy. So if you watch the horses, you'll see that as they perform the free walk, that they make almost a V with their lateral pair of legs. It's a good indication that the walk is pure and not lateral. And then at B, pick up the trot and show us one more 20-meter circle to the left, riding as accurate a 20-meter circle as you can. And we're looking for rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. A good steady rhythm, regularity, and relaxation. So these 2 horses are young. They're babies. That's why we're doing intro with them. But they're doing a great job. Go all the way down the long side, H-E-K. And then come down the center line and demonstrate one more halt through walk. Dressage tests are typically, they begin with a halt salute to the judge and they end with a halt salute. But in the intro tests, because they are through walk, oftentimes the halt isn't performed till the end. Thank you guys, good job. Next we have is training or basic level with Ivy and Molly. You guys want to come in our little 20 by 40 meter ring? So if you remember, training level is the first level where walk, trot, canter, all 3 are performed. In the USDF dressage test intro C, canter is introduced. But at training level test 1, 2, 3, canter is required at all 3 tests. So go ahead and show us the walk, trot, halt. And for the Western riders, the halt is through the walk for Western. And what we're looking for is straightness in the halt, square. Want the horse to be standing on all 4 squarely. Not bad, Molly, just hanging a little bit of a left hind there, but okay. You want the horse straight. You want them to be immobile and seeking contact with the bit in the halt. One of the great old masters used to say the halt should vibrate, meaning that it should be full of energy, so that when you ask the horse to go forward from walk or from the halt to walk or trot, he should go forward easily and with willingness. All right, so go ahead and pick up trot. So either go through halt from walk to trot or from the halt to the trot. At training level, we still have 20-meter circles at trot and canter, jog and lope. It's not until first level then the circles start to become smaller. 10-meter circles are introduced, as well as 15-meter canter circles are introduced. So show us a 20-meter circle. And again, we're looking for the same things. We're looking for rhythm, regularity, steadiness, relaxation over the top line, and the horse seeking the contact with the rider. Basically holding hands with the rider. Now show us a change of direction across the diagonals. Kind of a drill team move here. They're going to pass left shoulder to left shoulder. Oh, maybe not. It's okay. And now stay at the 20-meter circles at A and C. Molly, you stay at that end. All right, that's okay. We'll figure it out. Ride a 20-meter circle at that end, both of you, and demonstrate the stretchy circle. What we call the stretchy circle. But when you're actually reading the test, it would go something like A, rising trot, 20-meter circle, allowing the horse to stretch forwards and downwards. And what we're doing is we're showing acceptance of the bit. We're showing it's a demonstration of acceptance of the contact, showing a demonstration of balance in the horse, that he can stretch forwards and downwards. Ideally, you want a round top line, a consistent round top line, nose at the vertical or slightly in front of the vertical. So show us one more. Horses will often show a better stretch at the end of their schooling period. They're more willing to let go of their muscles and stretch. It's kind of like us. After we've run, it's easier to stretch. So I'll ask them to show a stretch maybe at the end after their canter work. So go ahead and demonstrate a free walk. Across the diagonal is usually where the free walk is asked in the test. Nice. So you can see the horse is stretching forwards and downwards. The nose is out in front of the vertical. A nice, clear 4-beat rhythm, pure walk. The horse is relaxed. She's gathering up the reins towards the end. And Molly, across the diagonal, show a free walk. Both of you, one more free walk. Across the diagonal. So as you come onto the diagonal line, you want the horse to start to stretch and reach towards the bit. The rider uses the legs. Leg says, go to my hand. Stretch forwards and downwards over the top line. Okay, does one of you want to show us the canter, or both of you want to show us the canter? Okay. So at training level, the canter is asked from the trot. So you pick up a good rhythm in the trot. Working trot is usually what we ask for. And they step up into the canter from a steady, rhythmical working trot. At training level, it's performed on a 20-meter circle. Thank you, Molly. Good job. So Ivy's horse picked up the wrong lead, so she quietly and calmly brought him back to a trot, regained the balance, and now she's on the right lead. Good job. So the canter is performed on both leads in the test, right lead as well as left lead, so that they're showing the gaits on both sides. So do you guys want to show the left lead as well? Purity of the gaits plays a very large role in the training of the horse. Correct training will preserve the gaits of the horse or even enhance the gaits. So there, Molly's horse took the wrong lead, but she very quietly brought him back to trot, regained the balance, and then asked for the canter, the left lead canter. Good job, Molly. Nicely done. So back to the trot, Ivy, and show us the serpentine in the trot. So at training level, a 3-loop serpentine is performed. 3 equal loops, the width of the arena, showing a clear change of bend in each direction. So do that one more time, Ivy. Come back down, showing us 3 loops. So here you see clear bending to the left. As she crosses over the center line, a moment of straightness. She's going to apply her inside legs and bend to the right. Moment of straightness as she crosses the center line. Inside aids will create the bending on the left side of the horse. Good job. And at E, pick up a 20-meter circle, Ivy. Molly, you can too. Pick up a 20-meter circle at B and E. And show us another stretchy trot. Let's see if your horses are more willing to stretch now that they've had a chance to walk, trot, canter. A little bit more leg, Molly. You want to maintain that clear rhythm and energy. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you don't want to stretch the horse so low that it disrupts his balance. You only stretch the horse down as far as his training or his development at that stage will allow. If you stretch the horse down too far and you find that they start to lose their balance, then you know they haven't, the horse is not developed to that degree that he can maintain that stretch. Good job, ladies. Thank you. Next is first level, or level 1. And we have Gina and Stephanie and Maggie. At first level, or level 1, they will demonstrate the walk, trot, halt. Halt is ridden through the walk for the Western riders. Canter or lope. The stretchy circle at the trot. 10-meter trot circles are introduced at this level, as well as 15-meter canter circles or lope circles. Also, leg yields are introduced and lengthenings in the trot and the canter. So here they've demonstrated a halt through trot on the center line. Looks like a little bit of a pas de deux going on here, but that's cool. All right, very nice, ladies. And now pick up trot. And let me show me some 10-meter circles, some leg yields. Lengthenings. In the USDF first level, sitting is optional. You can either sit or rise the trot. Here Stephanie is demonstrating the sitting trot, where Maggie is demonstrating the rising or the posting trot. It's their choice. The goal again is to show the gaits of the horse. So if it's the rider can make a decision if they are better able to show the gaits of the horse in the rising trot, they are able to do that. So Maggie's showing a little bit of a leg yield there. Nice straight halt on the center line by Stephanie. So you'll see that the development of the horse at this level has changed from what you've seen of the other two levels. The horse is more uphill, more balanced, there's more cadence. Stephanie showing another leg yield to the right. Change of direction by Maggie. Leg yield left by Stephanie.
That wasn't very pretty.
Well, you get a do-over here. So at this level, the 10-meter circle is often used as a preparation to the leg yield. Helps to establish the balance and the bending required for the leg yield. So the leg yield is a forward and sideways movement. You guys want to show a lengthening? Anybody up to show me that? Alrighty, good. Free walk. So Stephanie's showing a very nice free walk across the diagonal. Parada is showing very nice four-beat, very pure four-beat walk, tracking up. Her hind feet are stepping in or beyond the footprints of the front feet. She's stretching over her top line, reaching forward and downwards, nose out in front of the vertical, reaching for the contact, holding hands with Stephanie. So show one more. One more free walk, sure. The walk in the dressage tests get a double score. The walk is considered the mother of all gaits. Very nice. Very, very nice. Parada's showing a lot of freedom over her back. So now we have Gina and Gunnar in the picture. She's demonstrating the Western. Nice free walk. Covering lots of ground. The outline of his body stretches and lengthens. And notice the freedom in her seat, how Gunner moves her seat around. That's a clear indication that his back is moving freely. These are things that we look for. So she's gathered him back up, put him on the bit. Pole is the highest, nicely round over his back as she demonstrates the job. And even though the horse makes a mistake, you can see how quietly Gina just patiently puts him back together. She uses nice soft aids, correct aids to direct the energy. Now she's rising the trot, showing a stretch. Notice how he maintains the same steady tempo, the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Stretching over his back, reaching forward and downward, seeking the contact. The stretchy circle is always asked for in the rising trot. Stephanie showing a lengthening. So in the lengthenings, you want to gather the power. You want to gather the energy in the corners. It's almost like building up the steam, building the steam up in the corners. Building the steam, and then you release that pressure, release that steam across the diagonal. Allow the horse to go forward. It's like you're coiling the spring of the hind leg and then releasing that coil, and the horse takes longer strides. He covers more ground, but he maintains the rhythm, so it's not running. Oftentimes, however, when horses are learning the lengthenings, when they first learn them, they get a little quicker. But that's just normal. Very nice, Stephanie. See how Parada's taking longer strides, but still maintaining the rhythm. There goes Gunner. He's a little bit quicker. His lengthenings are still being developed, but that's what we show. That's what we're showing in these tests. Does any of you want to demonstrate the canter, 15-meter canter circles? The counter-canter is also introduced at first level. It's introduced, however, at a shallow loop on the long side. So here, Maggie is demonstrating a 15-meter canter circle. Requires a little bit greater degree of collection. So here we start to collect the horse by using the arena patterns. The very nature of the smaller circles requires a greater degree of collection from the horse. In other words, collection basically means transferring more of their balance towards their haunches. Their front end gets lighter. They begin to carry more weight on their haunches. It's kind of a neat move, girls. So the ring is between these letters, these cones, it's 20 meters wide. So if you can imagine the center line from the long side is 10 meters. So 15 meters would be the long side to about the midpoint between the center line and the cone on the other side. So do you guys want to show the loop, the counter-canter loop, where we start to? That's okay, it's a tough move. Maybe go from uphill a little bit. It's really difficult on the downhill side. I threw that in on these girls. There we go. Very nice, Stephanie. That would be how they begin to introduce the counter-canter. The counter-canter is used to improve the true canter. It helps to improve the balance of the true canter. It's a very good exercise, one of my favorites. As dressage progresses up the levels, there are more canter movements, of course, required. For example, these ladies are demonstrating first level. Oh yeah, that's one thing we did miss, the lengthening at the canter. Does anybody want to demonstrate the canter lengthening? Gina's laughing. So it's just like the trot, only in canter. The horse covers more ground with longer strides, maintaining the same rhythm. It's an uphill movement. You want to ride the movement uphill. There you go, nice. A little bit of a lengthening there. It's hard to do in such a short little ring. Speed has no value in dressage. It's in the lengthenings, the medium gaits and the extended gaits where we place the value. So I think we pretty much covered the first level, I believe. Did I miss anything, ladies? First level movements. Do you guys want to show us a little bit?
Western adds the turn on the forehand and turn.
Oh, yes. Please show us that. I forgot about that.
We're not great at them, but
Give us an idea. So Western adds the turn on the forehand at first level, where he takes, I believe it's same as the English part, right? Where it's four beats. He's not planting and pivoting on a foot. He's picking up every foot, so it's still a 4-beat movement.
they'll allow either.
Oh, really?
They'll either allow the pivot or the stepping each foot.
Okay.
You just
Gina-
stay consistent. Most you don't pivot, so.
Okay, so Gina just said they will allow the pivot, where a horse will place a foot as a pivot point. In the USDF test, the horse, it is still a 4-beat movement. The horse is not allowed to pivot, but in the Western they are allowed to pivot. Okay. So turn on the haunches. So this is where the shoulders move in a larger circle around the haunches, around the hind legs. The hind legs are smaller. If you would imagine a meat-sized platter, the horse should stay on a meat-sized platter while the front end moves around. In the USDF test, the English version, it is a 4-beat. The horse picks up each foot in the movement. Now in the turn on the haunches, Gina, can they pivot also? Yep. Can you demonstrate that, or is Gunnar not ready for that?
He doesn't pivot yet.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually, they do 360 turn on the forehand, but only 180 turn on the haunches.
Interesting. Huh.
So
So there's a difference between the Western and the English. In the English, there is no turn on the forehand. It's all turn on the haunches, and then it becomes the walk pirouettes. I believe that is at fourth level. Then the walk pirouette is introduced. It's just a tighter, more collected version of the turn on the haunches. In Western, it is. They also perform the turn on the forehand, which Gunnar is showing right now. Gina and Gunnar are showing now. The 360 full revolution. And you do 3 of these. Wow. Nice. I learned something today. Okay, do you guys want to perform the a little bit of the shoulder in, some of the second level movements? We just have a couple minutes left, and then we got to wrap this up. So just show a little shoulder in down the long side, Gina, Maggie. Their shoulder in. It can be a 3-track or 4-track movement. The shoulders come off the rail, the haunches stay on the rail. So 4-track would be a greater angle. 3-track is less angle, but there's bend through the whole body of the horse. Equal bend through the whole body. It's not leg yield. And show us a little haunches in. So haunches in, the shoulders stay on the rail, and then the haunches come in. And this is typically a 4-track movement. In other words, if you're standing right in front of the horse as he performs this movement towards you, you will see all 4 legs. 3 tracks, you will only see 3 legs, because the diagonal pairs are on the same track. That's the difference between 3 and 4-track. 4-track, all 4 legs are on its own track. 3 tracks would be the diagonal pairs would be on the same track. So typically in haunches in, or travers is what it's really called, or renvers, which is the mirror version, these are typically 4-track movements. Shoulder in can be 3 or 4-track movements. So dressage develops the specific muscles of the horses that enable it to work off its hocks, control its head position, and rate its speed quickly and obediently. In addition, dressage develops relaxation and communication between the horse and rider, so the horse can respond to light aids, is safe and a pleasure to ride, while retaining its spirit and natural brilliance. Through dressage, the horse of any breed becomes an athlete that you can fluidly shift its balance and pace. The rewards? Well, there's a lot of rewards. There's a great deal of discipline to dressage, but there's also a great deal of satisfaction in noting the progress you and your horse make as a team. Whether your horse will become a pleasure mount, working horse, or competitor in the dressage arena, it will benefit tremendously from a basic background in dressage. As a plus, learning to perform dressage exercises correctly will also improve your seat, coordination, and feel as a rider. It really helps your core strength, by the way. Dressage is not aimed at turning out a 30-day wonder that passes as a trained horse for a little while before going sour, but at creating a foundation which will result in a horse that is smooth, supple, and a pleasure to ride throughout a long and useful life. Although only a very small percentage of horses have the physical conformation, strength, and temperament to succeed in the international competition, riders can set their own training goals and begin competing at the lower levels. Throughout the United States, local USDF, which is the United States Dressage Federation, organizations such as the KDCTA, Keystone Dressage and Combined Training Association, sponsor dressage competitions designed to encourage riders of all levels of experience to compete against other riders as well as themselves. testing the progress of their training against a standard of excellence. In closing, thank you. Thank you to our riders and to our horses today in showing how dressage is for any horse. As you can see, we have a combination of lots of breeds here demonstrated. Different levels, different breeds. Dressage is really for every horse. Thank you, ladies.